Som ofte så reagerer jeg altid på noget lidt sjovere content, noget lidt mindre seriøst content her på kanalen, men i dag skal vi faktisk reagere på noget ret seriøst. Vi skal reagere på 10 skader, der basically ødelagde fodboldkarrierer, og mere specifikt faktisk sluttede fodboldkarriere. Ødelagde og straight up sluttede fodboldkarriere. Non-stop football er dem, der har lagt compilation sammen. Rigtig fede videoer, de plejer at lave, hvor der faktisk er noget commentary indover, der giver os lidt mere info. Så ja, skud til dem. Link som altid til videoen nede i beskrivelsen. Lad os bare komme i gang og se, hvad de har til os.
Injuries are part of football. Every professional player knows he'll be forced to spend time on the sidelines at some point. But sometimes injuries can be far more serious than a couple of weeks on crutches. Whether it's muscle, bone, joint or ligament problems, injuries can occasionally force players into an early retirement. From World Cup winners and world-class strikers to the worst leg break in Premier League history. Here are 10 injuries that ruined football careers.
Bare lige så sagt, jeg er sådan en kæmpe pussy, når det kommer til sådan noget her. Jeg tror virkelig, det her det bliver svært at reagere på. Der er nogle gange, hvor jeg sikkert kommer til at kigge væk.
10. Alf-Inge Haaland. Roy Keane is one of the toughest hard men in Premier League history. You'd have to be very brave or very stupid to cross him. Alf-Inge Haaland, Erling Haaland's dad, did exactly that. In 1997, the Leeds midfielder accused Keane of feigning injury when the Man United captain had actually injured his cruciate knee ligament. Bad move, Alf. Some people pride themselves on not holding grudges. Keane isn't one of those people.
Jo, prøv at høre, Keane er straight up fucking ligeglad. Altså prøv at høre, du har fucket med ham. Du sagde til ham, at han fakede en skade, mens han faktisk var skadet. Keane er bare sådan, you're going down.
4 years later, he took his revenge. Haaland was now playing for Manchester City, so tensions were even higher than normal. Near the end of the game at Old Trafford, Keane launched a knee-high horror tackle on the Norwegian, who collapsed in agony. It's a myth that Keane ended Haaland's career. The tackle was on his right knee, but Haaland had been struggling with left knee problems for a while. He actually finished the game against United, but surgery on his left knee didn't work, and he had to retire in 2003.
Det er trist.
9. Jack Wilshere.
Men det må være ret for mig at se hans søn i det mindste. Rent faktisk ligesom udleve den drøm, han måske ikke helt fik alligevel, men fucking op den der tackling for Roy Keane, den er så grim.
Jack Wilshere was once the next big thing.
Så har vi Jack Wilshere. Er jo straight up, da jeg var sådan, det ved jeg ikke, tilbage sådan 2011, 12, 13 stykker, der sagde jeg straight up, Jack Wilshere sådan var en af mine yndlingsspillere at se, som ikke var Chelsea-spiller. Og det synes jeg egentlig var berettet, altså han var fandme en fornøjelse.
For Arsenal against Barcelona
nu spiller han ikke i
League was legendary.
Hans kamp mod Barca
was named Arsenal Player of the Year in 2011. He had the world at his feet and was tipped for the top. But that was also the year when he first injured his ankle. Unfortunately for Wilshere, he's never truly recovered. At first, Wilshere was ruled out for 17 months, but his ankle has now troubled him for almost a decade. Arsenal let him go in 2018. Wilshere joined West Ham on a free, but he's barely played for the Hammers due to fitness problems. Wilshere's still only 28, but his career at the top seems to be over already.
Han er stadig kun, han er vi så i, juni 2022 nu. Han spiller ikke F. Det bliver jo ikke bedre. Men fuck, det er bare så synd, Jack Wilshere. Altså en mand med så meget talent, en skade, og siden der har han bare været konstant skadet, aldrig kunne komme tilbage igen.
8. Marco van Basten.
Spændende. Okay,
Van Basten is one of the greatest strikers of all time. He scored 152 goals in 172 games for Ajax, then became the star attacker in Arrigo Sacchi's legendary AC Milan team. Van Basten won...
Bro, også bare lige dyrke det fucking line-up der. Se lige på nogle fucking legends, altså. Jeg kan ikke selv nævne alle sammen, men der er rigtig mange. Maldini, Rullit er dem, der springer i øjnene. Først selvfølgelig Frankrig, kan vi bare tage den øverste række. Fuldstændig insane, og jeg kunne blive ved. Er det Carlo Ancelotti med hår? Hvorfor har jeg lyst til at sige det, Ancelotti med hår? Er det bare mig? I don't know. Det er også derfor, jeg skal komme videre, fordi der er sikkert også nogle af dem, jeg ikke kan nævne, og så ligner jeg en kæmpe fraud.
Legendary AC Milan team. Van Basten won 3 Eredivisie titles, 3 Serie A titles, and 2 Champions Leagues. He also helped Holland win Euro 88 with a spectacular volley in the final against the Soviet Union. Van Basten won the Ballon d'Or for the 3rd time in 1992. But problems were just around the corner. The Dutchman had already had trouble with his ankle. It started in 1987 and meant he was only able to play 11 league games in his first Milan season. Van Basten injured the same ankle again in late 1992. He had several operations, but couldn't overcome the issue.
Også bare det billede der, det er bare sådan, prøv at se på ham, man, han er broken.
The striker returned in time for the 1993 Champions League final against Marseille, but that would prove to be his last game for Milan. Tragically, at the age of just 28, Van Basten was forced to hang up his boots.
Virkelig det, vi snakker om en af de største, bedste angriber for all time. 28 år. Tre gange Ballon d'Or vinder. Han har vundet Champions League, som sagt, EM og det hele. 28 år. Stopper sin karriere.
7. Ronaldo.
Skræmmende.
Injury didn't end Ronaldo's career. The Brazilian won the World Cup and the Ballon d'Or after knee problems, but he was never really the same player again.
Det er vigtigt at huske på det med Ronaldo, at han havde vitterligt en total karriere ødelæggende knæskade. Og my man kommer ind og bliver topscorer ved VM i 2002, som om det bare er ingenting. Altså, det viser bare, hvor insanely god han var.
Ronaldo was the best player in the world in the late 1990s. He was well on his way to becoming a GOAT contender. But in 1999, the striker's knee buckled during a game for Inter. He had surgery on his ruptured tendon and returned a few months later. But in his comeback game, Ronaldo's knee gave way again. It was more serious this time. He barely played for 3 years, and doctors warned his career might be over. Ronaldo did incredibly well to return. He even reached the pinnacle of the game by winning the World Cup in 2002, before joining Real Madrid after the tournament. Ronaldo continued to play into his mid-30s, but he was a different player after the injuries.
Bro, my guy... Det er vildt, det der. Det er vildt, hvad der kan ske på få år, altså.
Longer had the explosive pace that made him so special. If it wasn't for his dodgy knee, he might have become the best ever. 6. Fernando Redondo.
Det er trist på at overveje bare sådan, at Ronaldos krop har bare berøvet os alle sammen fra potentielt den bedste spiller for all time. Og selv med hans skade, siger faktisk, at han er den bedste spiller for all time. Det viser bare, hvilket fucking talent han var. Jeg er så ked af, at jeg ikke ligesom var gammel nok til at sidde og følge med i fodbold, dengang han var på sit peak.
Fernando Redondo is another player whose career came to a premature end at AC Milan. The elegant Argentine midfielder is mostly remembered for his 6 years at Real Madrid. He was the deep-lying playmaker for the teams that won the Champions League in 1998 and 2000. After that second success, he was sold to Milan against his wishes. In one of his first training sessions, Redondo tore his anterior cruciate ligament. The doctor who operated on him wasn't a knee specialist.
Hans ACL, altså det der anterior cruciate, hvad fanden er det lige med, hvordan fanden han siger det? Altså det der ACL, hvis du læser folk, der har basically brækket eller revet deres ACL over, så ved du, det er seriøst. Det er defucks.
Redondo tried to train through the pain barrier, but it didn't work. In the end, he didn't play for 2.5 years. He even asked Milan to stop paying his wages because he didn't feel he deserved them. Redondo eventually made 33 appearances for Milan, but another knee injury forced him to retire in 2004. 5. Ledley King. England were blessed with a fantastic generation of centre-backs in the 2000s. John Terry, Rio Ferdinand...
random billeder at smide Andre Gomes ind.
Fantastic generation of centre-backs in the 2000s. John Terry, Rio Ferdinand and Sol Campbell are 3 of the best in Premier League history. The 3 Lions could also call on Jonathan Woodgate, Jamie Carragher and Ledley King. King was one of the most naturally gifted. Strong, athletic, intelligent and good on the ball. The Spurs captain had everything you need to be a top-class centre-back. The only problem was his injury record. As the Spurs fans used to sing, "Oh, Ledley, Ledley, he's only got one knee." King suffered.
Det er fandme også. Altså, sikke en sang at have. Bare have en sang, hvor det bare basically var sådan, det er så der for have et knæ. Okay, nice.
His first knee injury in 2006. The problem plagued him for years. He didn't have any cartilage in his knee, so there was nothing to operate on. King just had to live with it. By 2008, he was barely even training. King was able to play in matches, but his knee would swell up afterwards, and it would take him a week to recover. Incredibly, King continued to play like that until 2012, when the chronic injury finally got the better of him, age 31.
Men det er vildt run alligevel. Altså vildt run, og det er så vildt ved nogle af de her spillere her, det er, at de har haft de her skader her, og de har alligevel bare fortsat ikke altid på lige højt niveau, men de har ikke holdt dem tilbage. Fandme inspirerende.
An England international who was born in Canada, Owen Hargreaves began his career at Bayern Munich of all places. After winning 4 Bundesliga titles and the Champions League, he joined Manchester United in 2007. It wasn't long before his injury nightmare began. Hargreaves only played occasionally in the 08-09 season due to tendinitis in his knees. He flew to the US to see a specialist surgeon and had operations on both knees. Hargreaves eventually returned to Premier League action in 2010, but his knee problems had a knock-on effect on the rest of his body, and he spent quite a bit of time out with muscle injuries. He left United in 2011, despite offering to play the next season for free. He then posted a series of videos on YouTube to prove to clubs that he was fit enough to continue playing.
Damn, my man har brugt YouTube som et CV. Han har været sådan AO5. Jeg uploader lige mit fucking løber-highlights til YouTube. Sign me up. Come on.
Manchester City were convinced and gave him a 1-year deal, but Hargreaves played only 4 times for the club before calling time on his career, aged 31.
Ja, det er fandme tragisk med Hargreaves.
Abu Dhabi.
Han er sådan, Hargreaves sådan en af de OG'sen og altid skadede spillere, ligesom vi har med for eksempel Jack Wilshere og Hazard i dag og sådan noget.
Abu Dhabi.
Og for at snakke om spiller Abu Dhabi, fucking hell, man, det er også bare tragisk.
Was another midfielder whose career was dogged by persistent injuries. Diaby spent the first 2 years of his career with Auxerre in France. In 2006, Arsene Wenger brought him to Arsenal, beating Jose Mourinho to his signature. Just 4 months after moving to North London, Diaby was the victim of a terrible tackle by Sunderland's Dan Smith that left him with a broken ankle. Diaby needed 3 operations and was told by doctors that his career could be over. He battled back and returned to the field in 2007, but the fractured ankle had a long-term effect on his body. The injury seemed to cause an imbalance in his body. Diaby suffered from various muscle and ligament issues for the rest of his career. In 9 years at Arsenal, he apparently had 37 different injuries. Diaby moved back to France with Marseille in 2015, but he only played 5 league games for the club before being forced to retire. 2. Michael Owen. Michael Owen had the world at his feet early in his career. He scored more than 20 goals a season for Liverpool year after year. He even won the Ballon d'Or in 2001 ahead of Raul, Oliver Kahn and David Beckham. Owen's game was based on pace. He used to hang on the shoulder of the last defender and sprint in behind. His sizzling speed and lethal finishing made him one of the most dangerous strikers in the world. But hamstring problems gradually took away his pace, and he was never the same player without it. Owen first injured it in 1999. It never properly healed. He also had issues with his ankle, thigh and knee. Owen played for Real Madrid and Manchester United after leaving Liverpool. But Anfield was the only place where he was truly world class.
Han igen også bare noget aldrig samme højde igen bagefter. Altså, det er en spiller, som jeg sjovt nok var lidt før min tid, men bare de historier, jeg har hørt og set og sådan noget der. Det er også bare igen det her, vi snakker ind, altså, som de siger, 20 mål konsekvent, 20 plus mål konsekvent for Liverpool, Ballon d'Or vinder, og så bliver han sådan lidt husket for, at det var ham, der var skadet. Og det gør han selvfølgelig ikke, men til en vis grad, i hvert fald sådan i nyere tid, det er fandme trist.
David Bust isn't as famous as the other players in this video.
Nej, så sige, jeg aldrig hørt om ham før, men spændende.
But his injury was far worse than anything the other 9 had to endure. In fact, it might just be the most horrific football injury of all time. It happened in 1996 when Bust was playing for Coventry against Manchester United. The defender came forward for a corner and collided with 2 United players, shattering the tibia and fibula in his right leg. United keeper Peter Schmeichel vomited after seeing the state of Bust's leg, and the game was held up for around 10 minutes while blood was cleared off the pitch. Some doctors have his leg amputated. In the end, he didn't. But the Englishman did need 22 operations to try to repair the damage. He officially...
Det ser bedre ud nu, men fuck, jeg fik det seriøst lidt dårligt. Også bare med, at de siger, Peter Schmeichel fucking kastet op på banen, de skulle 10 på at tørre blod op. Oh my days, det var sådan det der.
A few months later, when doctors told him that trying to return was just too big a health risk.
Bro. Prøv at overveje, altså det er med længder, det er med længder den værste, den der. Altså, hvor slemt det var, skulle bæres af banen og komme aldrig tilbage igen, fordi lærerne vitterligt sagde, det er for risky. Fucking hell. Jeg fik det seriøst fysisk dårligt selv, det billede der. Sorry til jer, der også så det, og fik det dårligt. Vi er det mindste sammen om det her. Come on, we all in this together. Let's go. Anyways, boys and girls, det var faktisk en virkelig fed competition. Det er fedt at få lidt football knowledge her på kanalen. Vi kan lide det. Non-stop football. Skud til dem. Og ja, Mine damer og herrer, det var sådan set det for den her video her. Andet jeg kan sige, end selvfølgelig som altid, tusind mange gange tak, fordi I så med alt sammen. Hvis I nyder videoen her, så glem selvfølgelig lige at gå ned og smid like på den. Subscribe, hvis I vil se mere. Og vi ses!